Hey everybody, what's up? Blades of God here from Hammer Bros Gaming, coming at you with another Gears 5 Master Escape Guide. With me as always, I have Pyrocyterwatts and Mr. Beardsley. And real quick, for the classes we're going to be running on this map, the Malfunction, I myself am going to be running the Marksman class. Mr. Beardsley is going to be running Demolitions, and Pyrocyterwatts is going to be running the Infiltrator class. We will have a breakdown of the skills that we use and the classes that we run in the description in the bottom of the video. So you could check that out if need be, but for a quick rundown, Pyro is going to be focusing on shotgun bleed and shotgun damage. I am going to be focusing on increased long shot and M-bar damage and explosive headshot, and Mr. Beardsley is going to be focusing on explosive bleed and actually the good kill card, which gives us, or the good kill skill, which gives us ammo if he kills an enemy while near an ally. So looking at the modifiers for this map, the Malfunction, we have more health, more lethal, vampiric enemies, shock snipers, so attacks from snipers cause shock chain. We have regen penalty, so our health regenerates 50% slower. Freezing shepherds, so shepherds will deal freezing damage. And of course, Iron Man, so if you get killed, there's no pods, no rescue pods. You have to restart the act that you're on. The other one to take note of is vampiric enemy, so if you damage an enemy and then it damages you, it regains health at your expense. Alright, so getting right into the map itself here. Once you come out of the spawn room, you're going to have to move fairly quickly because you don't have a long countdown timer before the venom bomb detonates. And what you want to have your marksman do is you're going to have him come up the ladder and then actually circle around to the left, and this is the opposite path that you need to follow. But there's a long shot back here all by itself, and it's going to make life much, much simpler if you have your marksman have this long shot. Now, as you advance through this map and follow the only path you can take, you're going to find a lot of rejects, and what you want to do is have your Demolitions class execute these rejects while standing near an ally, and the reason this is that it'll cause the enemies to drop pilfer ammos that you can use to fully stock up your weapons. There's not a shortage of ammo in this map, but it never hurts to have additional ammunition, and you can always come in here and load up on weapons and ammo as well. There's an Enforcer in here that Beardsley likes to run because he does like using the Enforcer. And there's Nashers in here for your Infiltrator, so your Infiltrator will have a shotgun moving forward in the rest of this map. So once you've cleaned out the rejects in that first ammo room, you're going to come through this doorway, and basically there's two sides of the same path that you can take. There's some rejects that are asleep or inactive in here. Again, same thing, you can have your Demolitions class execute them just to get the additional pilfer ammo. Unfortunately, they wake up before Beardsley was ready to come in and execute them, so Pyro and I took them out. And something else to note is that if you're not familiar with rejects, don't go for body shots on them. If you can't get to the power core on their back, shoot them in the legs until they fall. It makes them a lot easier to deal with, even on master difficulty. So once you're into this big kind of opened room, there's going to be a lot of different enemies here. You're going to have snipers sitting way back with M-bars that are going to try to hit you with the shock chain. You have rejects that rush you. You have shepherds that are trying to freeze you up. And then you're going to have kind of a boss enemy. It's either DR1s. I think it's actually always DR1s. I take that back. And the variety changes. I think you can get tri-shot or salvo DR1s or the shotgun DR1s. So just kind of sit back. Again, what we do is, as the marksman, I sit way back and try to snipe out as many enemies as I can, thin the herd as much as possible. Especially, you could see a couple of times that explosive critical kill can really come in handy when you have a DeeBee that is in a group of enemies, and one headshot will take out several of the enemies at once. And in this room will be another great place, or will be a great place for your marksman to grab an M-bar. As I said, I'm running M-bar damage increase and long shot damage increase, so I want to be running both the long shot and the M-bar. But work together, and again, once you're through this sort of section, you want to hit that venom fan. You can see on the mini-map directly behind where we're running now, there's a venom fan that Beardsley just activated. Gave us 45 seconds of additional time before the venom catches up to us, which is great, because the early venom was already right on top of us, and the deadly venom was getting very close as it was. So once you're through that room, you've activated the venom fan, you're going to come into this other, it's not really an open room, there is a lot of cover, but you face a lot of shepherds and a lot of dead eyes in this room, and eventually you get they get reinforced by more DR1s and rejects. So again, the strategy we like to use is have our marksman sit back here, do as much work as he can using the M-bar, using the long shot. I really struggled in this room to get my headshots, so I apologize for the subpar gameplay here. But the idea is pretty solid. You want to sit back here as the marksman, and you want to keep your eyes on that ramp or that staircase right back there, because that's where all of the DR1s and the rejects are going to come from. And you're going to want to try to get a headshot while the group is all together on the stairs, pretty much right where I just took that shot. What that'll do is it'll bunch together a bunch of the enemies and again clean them out with the explosive headshot. And while you're doing this, once you feel like enough enemies have been taken off the board, have your demolitions and your infiltrator move either to the left room or the right room. You can see the silhouettes on the screen right now of Beardsley and Pyro. They're on that right side trying to get the enemy in a crossfire and clean out these rooms one at a time. And this is what I'm talking about right here, is you want to try to keep your enemies bunched together so you can hit that explosive headshot and take out as many of them as quickly as you can. The biggest threat here really is those DR1 oppressors with the tri-shots. They can deal a lot of damage very quickly, and they can down you extremely fast. So the marksman is a very good class to deal with them, because you can engage them before they start engaging you. And again, if you have your skill cards maxed out, one headshot with an active reload is enough from the long shot to kill most of the DR, if not all of the DR1 units. So, as you can see, we have pretty much all of these enemies cleaned up. There's a few shepherds left out back here. There's some ammo in these side rooms, so stock up on that if you need it. Again, any of the kills that your demolitions gets while close to an ally is going to drop ammo as well. So you don't have to be as particular as far as planning out who's grabbing what ammo, as there should be a good amount available for everybody to keep their weapons stocked up. So here we go, we're through this part, and we're actually already almost to the safe room, the halfway point of the map. Once you get past that room, again, the safe room is pretty much right there. So there's not a whole lot more to say about it. We're going to actually go ahead and skip the safe room. There is quite a bit of ammo in the safe room. So again, if you're not topped off, my weapons were pretty close to being maxed out on ammo as it was. But once you're in there, go ahead and top off whatever ammo you need, divvy it up as you see fit. And once you come out of the safe room, we're going to head down these stairs. This fight, this engagement can be difficult or it can be very easy. It all depends upon the timing of when all those rejects kind of come down the stairs. You can see that Beardsley, our demolitions class, found a Lancer GL, and the location of that is that you're going to come down these stairs that I'm crawling on right now, and then you're actually going to hang a right and double around behind the stairs, and then back behind those stairs on the right side is the Lancer GL. Now you're going to want to have that because the grenades from that do a lot of damage, and with the bleed card active on the for the demolitions class, it's going to come in very, very handy for cleaning up a lot of these rejects and enemies very quickly. So the strategy here again is get your demolitions class, that Lancer GL, have him focus on the stairs with the grenades. Your infiltrator can close in with a shotgun to try to get some bleed damage going on the rejects, and then from a distance you want your marksman to be focusing on headshots on the snipers, and try to save the snipers until the rejects are close by. So once we're through that stairway engagement, basically what we're going to do is we're going to continue down the only path, come into this shuttered cafeteria looking room. There's a couple of rejects in here, so you can execute them if you get the chance. But what we like to do is we like to have our marksman look through these shuttered windows from a distance and just do his sniper thing. You can see just took out a DR1 and a couple of shepherds. And once you have cleaned up as many of the enemies through the shutters as you can, we like to have our marksman again kind of get an angle on this corner by circling around this big open cafeteria, and have our infiltrator either sit on the corner right where Pyro is, you can see a silhouette, or sit inside the room with the shutters and shoot through the shutters. And then your demolitions class, who probably doesn't have a lot in the way of explosives right now because he just used most of the GL on that stairway engagement, can go get that venom fan that's in the corner of this room. You do want to make sure you get the venom fan because you're not going to have a lot of time. The venom moves very quickly in this map, and you need all the time you can get for the very end of the map, right before the helipad. So you can see I'm just falling back here, topping off my weapon with whatever ammo happens to be remaining, and I'm in pretty good shape. My long shot and my M-bar is full. The only thing I'm missing really is grenades, because all my weapons are full. And then once we're through this area here, the cafeteria engagement as we call it, we're going to come over, we're going to activate this medbay. Don't bank on these medbays to work. In our experience, they're very hit or miss on if they're going to actually respawn you or not. But it doesn't hurt to activate them just, to have that safety net if it decides to work. So, we're going to advance up, and here we are. We're at the last engagement before the helipad. You're going to want your marksman to run up to this window and do his best to try to take out these bastions before the DR units are able to advance on us. These bastions can be a real pain, and there are a lot of enemies in this area, so be patient, take your time. It's very easy to get frustrated right here, but once you take out those bastions, the DR units are actually going to be carrying salvos, and what we like to do is try to let the DR units get a little bit closer to the stairway if they can. That way Beardsley can pick up the salvo himself and then have explosives to clean up the rest of these enemies. Now there are a lot of enemies here. You can see there's more DR1s, there's Deadeyes, there's Shepherds, there's a Stump, so there's a ton of enemies to deal with, but from this position you as the marksman should be able to pull off plenty of headshots, and there's quite a bit of ammo available, so you should be able to thin the ranks fairly easily. And you want your demolitions and your infiltrator to kind of go down to the right, down to not the very bottom of the stairs, but sort of over where Pyro is, and what you want them to do is sort of act as both a diversion and to get the enemy in a crossfire. You can see that blue laser pointing around. Beardsley was trying his best to get a grenade out there to start putting some damage on the Stump. The Stump, once you take out the DR1s, obviously the Stump is going to be the biggest threat, and there's not a real simple way to deal with him, especially depending upon where he posts up. When we were trying this run, a few times, the Stump liked to sit way far back, and we couldn't really get up close to him, because normally we like to have our infiltrator get up close with a shotgun and get as much bleed damage going as he can, but unfortunately we weren't able to do that. So a couple of alternative methods we can use. You can see Beardsley's throwing grenades out there trying to get him close. I, as the marksman with the explosive headshot, am trying to wait until a Shepherd is close to the Stump so I can get a headshot and the explosion will do some damage. And then you're going to see eventually Pyro's going to try and sneak up there as well to get some shotgun damage going. You can see right there on the screen he's trying to make his way around. But there are a lot of enemies to deal with, so you need to be very aware of the reinforcements that are coming from the back of this map. And again, like I said, you can't really spend too much time dawdling here, because the Venom is going to push up on you, so you need to clean this up and get out of here relatively quickly. I used my X-ray there just because I knew there was a lot of enemies kind of hiding behind that cover directly in front of me. Unfortunately, it wasn't a very good use of X-ray, as I didn't get a single kill, but that's also something that you can do just to try to thin out some more of these enemies if possible. And you can see I'm running very low on ammo right now, so I'm going to fall back. The early Venom is already catching up to us. I'm going to grab whatever ammo is left back in this little, it's not even an ammo room, it's just an ammo dump in the map. So I'm going to grab whatever I can. Beardsley and Pyro have been kind of hopscotching or leapfrogging their way up, and they ended up taking out that Stump using a combination of the explosive weapons and Pyro's shotgun. So again, you can see I'm sitting back, doing my best to offer support, while the Demolitions and the Infiltrator class are up closer doing the heavy lifting, so to speak, using the explosives. Something to take note of, and you just saw it right there, is that this room has very low ceilings, so trying to use the Lancer GL can be extremely tricky, since the grenades like to impact the ceiling and detonate. And if that happens, odds are you're not going to have any effect on the enemy. That's just going to, be a wasted shot. So at this point, most of the enemies have been cleaned up through good teamwork, and I'm going to grab a tri-shot right here after I grab some more ammo from this spot, I guess. You can see we're being very cautious. We felt like there was more enemies coming out from the right. And that right side of that area, right where you saw the enemies come from, the enemies will continue to spawn from there, so it's not like there is an ending to the enemies. There's going to always be enemies trickling in. So you could see Beardsley's getting ready to toss a grenade, or set a grenade. I grabbed a tri-shot, and Beardsley actually is falling back to get a salvo from one of the DR units. So I'm going to set up right here with my tri-shot and act as cover for Beardsley. You can see Here's some more enemies, some more Peacemakers coming through, and just using the tri-shot, keep them suppressed. Here comes Beardsley with the salvo, and now we are ready to activate the door. Pyro pulled the switch as Beardsley was approaching, and we're in pretty good shape. We all have quite a bit of ammo. I have a tri-shot with some ammo. Beardsley has the salvo. So we're in pretty good shape for this door hold right now. And you can see, like I said earlier, I was going to focus on shooting the legs off of the rejects, but Beardsley was all over that with the salvo, so instead I'm focusing on the DR units trying to pull off headshots. You can see I got a couple there, and the explosion was enough to take out a few rejects. But that's about it, guys. That is how we get through the Malfunction on Master difficulty. It's a very difficult map, but it can be a lot of fun once you have the patience to run it. Good luck, everybody. Stick around. We'll have more guides coming. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe. You can also check us out on Twitch at Hammer Bros Gaming. I am Blades of God, and until next time, have a great day, everyone.